Hello and welcome to So You Think You're Awake, the show about life transformation through dream interpretation. I'm Michael Sheridan. On the show, through analysing your dreams, I reveal your potential and the obstacles you need to overcome. I'm very specific. I tell you the magic power you have, what makes you magnificent, and the bumps in life that are holding you back. These bumps are not in the way, they are the way. To get your dream analysed on my show, go to dream-analysis.com, fill in the form and submit your dream. That's it. I take it from there. My friend Anne, happy birthday. It's her birthday today. But she had me do a presentation on prophecy, prophetic dreams that I'd received over a period of time on the show. And I said last week I will be sending that out. I will actually be sending it out this Wednesday, so you still have time. Go to dream-analysis.com, download my dictionary, and that'll put you on my list, and you will get a link to watch that show that I did with Anne. Now, there's lots of reasons to download my dictionary. In fact, there are thousands of reasons to download my dictionary. All the symbols that you're going to get, all for free, and you can work out or try to work out what the meaning of your own dreams are from that symbol dictionary. So go to dream-analysis.com, get that from there, and you're off to a good start. I'll also send you lots of tips about how to use the information in the dictionary, how to try figure out what your dreams mean, etc., etc., etc. So do that. You can't miss out. It's really good. You're already having the dreams. You may as well figure out what they mean. So now let's do some dreams. This one comes from Mel. She says, I was in my parents' bedroom. My mom, dad, and sister were there, as well as F Scott Fitzgerald. Anyway, it turns out he's her boyfriend. Yes, the guy who wrote The Great Gatsby. Now, I never actually read that book, so I don't even know what it's about. I mean, I have ideas, but I'm not going to embarrass myself by saying what I think. But it's going to be important because there's a couple of things it's going to mean. First, it means that the dreamer, Mel, is a writer, and she should be writing. But it's also about relationships because he's her boyfriend in the dream. And then it brings us to, you're in your parents' bedroom. You never want that because they're there as well. So that's basically saying, when you're in a relationship, do you know who's tagging along with you in those relationships? Mom and dad, because that's who's in your dream and you're in their bedroom. So you don't want that. You want to deal with the issues around them so that you're in relationships on your own, figuring stuff out yourself without having any thoughts whatsoever, not that you're thinking about them, but subconscious influences from what they said to you about relationships. Like, here's what you shouldn't do in a relationship. Don't go with that guy. Whatever it happens to be. Anyway, that's what you got to fix. So a lot of the time it's just about awareness, having awareness of these. So let's move on because the dream is about more than that. He was quite a bit older than me, but he liked me and made his way over to me and was embracing me from behind. So that says you got to work on stuff from the past. That's what the embracing from behind. But also, he's a bit older. So now maybe you have a boyfriend who is a bit older than you. You didn't say in the comments. And if that's the case, then we just completely ignore that. Because it's part of reality. We have to filter out reality when looking at dreams. Anyway, you say my sister had 2 books. One was titled Generations and had an off-white dog and large orange sun on the cover. So that's really good. So anyway, like I said, you're a writer. You're meant to write. And you probably have 2 books in you, but you're also a channel. That's why the 2 books is there as well. And it's titled Generations. So maybe you're going to write about generational influences. And one book had an off-white dog and large orange sun. So all the books are about you. It's all about the story of your life. So you have an affinity that helps you do healing with animals. That's what the orange sun and the dog in the dream. It also tells us you have a prophetic ability because of the off-white colour, which is kind of unusual. Anyway, Scott inquired about the book. I thought it was one of his and thought it was odd that he didn't recognize it. So this is about you not recognizing your own ability, or your own writing ability, that is. And then you say, it turns out it wasn't. The other book my sister had was one of his, and I thought how magnificent it was that here was this famous author, an author whose books I and others look up to, an author whose books I was drawn to, and he liked me. I was worried about my parents' reaction, what it would be when they saw Scott and I together, but they didn't say anything and they seemed okay with it. So I'm going to finish off with it being about your writing ability and you being okay with the writing, and also you seeing it in a very magnificent way. And the fact you're attracted to him is seeing the attraction in your gift, the pull. I'm pulled towards writing. And so that's what you're meant to do, which is really good. I like it. Nice dream. Thank you for sending it in. And then next dream, this one is from Emily. She says, I was back in grade 6, sitting on the playground by myself. Now notice this, by myself. No one was around. Okay, we got you. You said by yourself. No one was around me or bothering me, and I was hunched over, looking at the bark that covered the playground floor. I was by myself. Okay, so you're really repeating that. So this is important. The fact that it's said over and over again, very important. Looking at the tree bark, or the bark that covered the playground floor. So the floor is about the elimination system, usually in a dream. And wood is about the elimination system in a dream as well, because of its color brown. And so when you point that out, that you're looking at the bark that covered the playground floor, we know that there are elimination system issues for you. Not necessarily big or anything. There isn't really like a health issue shown here. Just we know that it's one of the things the dream covers. And of course, it's now going to switch into here's something you need to work on, some psychological elimination. And that's how it works. If there's something that we're holding on to from our past that we need to get rid of, that isn't doing us any good, then our body holds on to physical matter too, and we end up with elimination system problems. So work on one and it helps the other. Anyway, you say you were by yourself until this blonde, blue-green eyed girl with a friendly smile walked up to me. So I love that. So we know she's a guide because of the blonde hair. People laugh at that, but it's just hilarious how many times in dreams that guides show up with blonde hair. Blonde or red, usually they're the two strong colors you see. Represents purity of thought. Anyway, her eyes are prominent in the dream. That's what you're drawn to. So that says you're clairvoyant. You get images as information from your guides, maybe even movies, but it's definitely through seeing something. And we know you have that because that's prominent with the guide. And blue-green is really good. Green's about the heart. So the dream's going to be about healing for the heart. And blue, when you see it in a dream, it says add the other things to it. So you're to work on things around your heart. Now notice it's a dual color on her eyes. So the two colors. 2 is really important for channels, and I think I have another dream in the lineup today. You'll just see 2s all over the place. So the 2 colors here as well are significant. And she walks up to you. I look over my shoulder at her and looked back down at the ground. So she's behind you. So this means you got to work on issues around mom because this woman comes from behind. So it's healing for something in the past. And of course, everything's always in the past, isn't it? You know, except my prophecy presentation. That's all the future. Go to dream-analysis.com, get on the list by downloading the dictionary, and then you can see those dreams because they are quite different. Anyway, she then pulled out a necklace that was made of black leather and had a small rock charm. It was the yin-yang symbol and was the color of stone, except the 2 circles of the yin-yang color had color. One was red, one was pink, and both were encrusted with shiny little jewels. So I love this. And it kind of threw me for a while, because when a guide comes along and gives you pink, it's normally going to be about counseling, that you have a counseling ability, a special ability to help other people. That may be true, but it's not what this dream is about. This one is about healing your heart, restoring balance, which is what the yin yang is about. And then that's going to help your channeling ability, the clairvoyance. And like you talk about the 2 circles as well, okay? And later on you talk about 2 beautiful women carved on something. So we see all the 2s. So this is really about channeling, and maybe because you have the other ability already in hand. The black leather says that there's some negativity that you need to get over that is affecting the balance, because it's connected to the yin yang symbol. Red is about passion, pink's about unconditional love. So it says you didn't get that from mom. You didn't get, so you're not, if looking at this dream, I would say, are you really enjoying life? And I would expect you to say no, that life is hard. People can be cold or whatever. And the reason I say that is like the pink color is enough. Pink colors are always great to go for in a dream. And you have several colors here. Like you've got pink, red, black, blue, green, blonde. It's fantastic. Just from those colors, we can interpret the whole dream. But so anyway, you need to work on issues around mom in order to learn to love yourself. And I like the jewels on it because it says this is something that's really precious. This is a precious part of your nature. You say, there's only a little bit left, the necklace fell into my shirt, hidden from my view. Then she pulled the necklace softly off me and walked away. I didn't look back as I felt something cold and small inside my shirt. I reached inside it and pulled out a coin. It was made of stone and was a circle, but with small dents on the outside, so it looked like a battered up coin. At the bottom of the coin, it said Gemini with all caps. In the middle, it had two very beautiful women back to back facing the front. I had to think about this, but anyway, so they're looking towards the front, but their backs are touching. So they're looking sideways at the front, which is fine. So we see the twos again. We have the two beautiful women. We have Gemini, which is twins. And you may be a Gemini. You didn't say it, but these are all symbols for dreams, for channeling in dreams. So anyway, like I said, what else have we got? You say the necklace fell into my shirt, hidden from my view. So again, it's about you hiding something about yourself. And that's what you need to do. Learn to show the precious part of your nature, because this is jewel encrusted after all. So the dream is about balancing the heart, but also we see elimination problems. Don't be like stone. And I say that because you have stone, you pull two stones out. Your clairvoyant channel already said that. Need to work on issues around mom said that. It's like mom said, you're special, but hide it. Don't let others see your gifts. Now, she may not have said this directly, but she could have, because that's the type of impact we see in the dream. And either way, it's around the 6th grade is when you decided to hide yourself. And that's the time you need to work on and open up and then see the beauty in yourself. So the battered up coin and all that as well, it's circular. That's all about the heart. So you've had pain in your life and it's made you a bit cold. And so you got to work on that. That's the whole point of the dream. Work on the issues around mom. Alrighty. If you have questions, contact me. But thank you for your dream and sharing it with us. Next one. Now, everybody gives a pseudonym. So it's not the real names usually that I'm reading out on the show. And this lady picked Dream Wondered. I have no idea why. Anyway, let's go with that. This is from Dream Wondered. And she says, I was with loads of people in a hotel. So a hotel is about reception at birth, because reception, any building that you would go into where you have to walk up to reception to go anywhere else, that's going to be about reception at birth. It was quite spacious and a vague memory, but I do remember this girl changing our room to what she believed was an upgrade, yet we all ended up squashed with all our baggage around us, and I was kind of arguing with her and annoyed by the upgrade. There was more to this dream, but anyway, it continues on. She got lots more, but that part was vague, I guess. So this dream is about picking up anger in childhood. Now, you would have heard this many times on the show. Usually, if we're angry in childhood, we use anger to keep people at a distance because we have felt pain. And so the baggage in this part of the dream as well is also about baggage from childhood. So my emotional baggage, let's say, or whatever it is I need to work on. In dreams, we don't really want baggage. We don't want luggage, suitcases, all those sort of things. If you ever become aware that you're dreaming, just throw them away. And that would really help whatever you're working on in your life. So anyway, we don't want the baggage, and we know that the dream is about you working on the baggage you picked up from childhood. And it's going to be about putting a wall up around your heart. We know that because of the anger, and you're arguing with a woman. So we know it's to do with your female side. That's how it works. Female side is the heart. And then you say, I remember then people leaving and the hotel turning into a tank. Now this is a tank with a turret that shoots. So if ever there was a symbol, and I've seen many, many symbols for keeping people at a distance, a tank is definitely up there at the top, because nobody's going to encroach on you if you're in a tank, because you'll be able to run over them, do whatever you want. Anyway, perfect symbol for nobody getting close to you, which is what I said this stream's going to be about. We are panicked. So, okay, that's fine. You have a sense of panic around when people do get close. And this is because you suffered pain as a child. And we'll see that later in the dream. We are panicked, me, one guy and one girl, saying they haven't come back to show us how to use this. I believe it may have been on water, but it ended up on land, ripping through the city streets, people running, people getting killed. We desperately trying to control this black tank-like thing. So black is about fear, negativity, all that. Of course it is, because you're killing people, not physically, but it's like nobody's getting close. I am manning this, and I'm making sure I'll run over anybody who wants to get near my heart. There's sort of an army van down the end of a hill, and this is our only chance of stopping it. Here comes the funny part. Yeah, I had to read it a few times. This is like an open transit car, if anything, but with army guys around it, and we get control this time and land inside this wall of the van to stop it. So let's go back to the theme of nobody getting close to you. So here you are, you're still in a tank, but now it's behind a wall, which is surrounded by army guys. Yes, that fits. You're still keeping people at a distance. And it's not funny though. I mean, I can imagine the theatrics of doing that stunt and landing inside the van. But what it's saying about you, of course, is very serious. And so you need to work on the issues around mom, because you argued with a woman at the start of the dream, that go right back to the start of life. So if I was to say to you, when did your issues start? You will say, I do not know. I've always had them. Because they go back to such a young age. 0 is quite young. And so therefore, you don't have a memory of picking them up. So any therapy you would do would need to work on infancy and right around birth, because that's when it comes from for you. And so do that, and you clear this, and you end up having a happy life with an open heart. Trust me, it always works. Anyway, next minute we are back all in shock, but happy the experience is over. I have whiplash and can feel it, but wanting to go about it. Now, I tidied up a lot of the typing here. Somebody must have typed this on a phone, but I obviously missed this little bit. And anyway, I asked the guy who was below deck if he was going to work the next day, and he said yes. I said, do you not have whiplash? He says, no, I'm fine. I was trying to justify in my mind the pain I was feeling. I was thinking, sure, I was the one on top, exposed to most hits in the tank, etc., etc. I was aware of this, yet afraid no one would believe me, as they weren't experiencing any pain, yet happy to go back to normality the following day. Okay, so that's what I said. The dream shows your pain at a later point, and here it is, the whiplash. And whiplash is always like the back of the neck. So it's like pain from the past, because it's on the back of your body, that you need to get treated for. And who you are in the dreams saying, should I go back to normal and act like this never happened? Or should I do something? And you're kind of encouraged by the other people in the dream who they're like, oh no, there's no problem. So this is really about your mind, which is the guy, intellect saying, hey, it's all okay. But really, you do need the treatment. And you saying you're afraid no one would believe you. And of course, a therapist will, because it's all about you. It doesn't matter how your parents are and how they think they are in reality. It matters how they impacted you. So they could be trying to do the best thing ever, but not do it right. I mean, kids don't come with a manual, and parents really get broken in by the first child that comes along. They kind of teach them how to be a parent, and they get better and better typically with each successive child. But it doesn't matter. It comes from your perspective. What did you perceive? That's what you need to work on, because that was your reality. That was your perception. And I've said this many times on the show before. Your brain doesn't know the difference between imagination and reality. So it's whatever you perceive is what counts. That's what gets layered in, and that's what you need to work on. So yeah, you need to cut the ties with mom. And very, very definitely a unique kind of dream, hotel turning into a tank. And the level of barriers that you have up are just huge. Inside a tank, which should be okay on its own, behind a wall, and then behind army guys, surrounded by army guys. Like, oh my gosh. Yeah, whoever manages to get your heart has got work cut out for them. That's for sure. So here's the next dream. She apologizes for the length. Her name is Angie. And let's just go through the dream. Because it's a bit long, I may go a bit faster. But anyway, she said, I realize it's lengthy, but I have 15 plus dreams of this same musician in the past year. And you don't even tell us who he is. I'm baffled by the fact I dream about someone I don't know over and over. Well, that's why. Okay, you don't know who he is. These dreams are always very long and very detailed. This happens to be one of the shorter dreams. Your insights would be greatly appreciated. Many thanks. Well, here we go. Me and my insights. Me and a musician in a white hat are staying in the famous actress Gwyneth Paltrow's mansion. Okay, so straight off, a musician is about channeling, and so is Gwyneth Paltrow. Why? Because in both cases, you're given the lines to sing or the words to say. There's more of a reason for music being channeling too, but actors don't say what they say their own lines. They're told what to say, and that's the same for a channel. They're told by spirit what to say. Anyway, we planned to stay 2 nights in a glass bedroom. So here we go with the twos. 2 nights in a glass bedroom. Glass here is about... says that you have a strong intuition. So we see a lot of gifts for you, and that's what you're going to get out of this analysis. You have a strong intuition, you get downloads and knowings about things. No logic with it, it's just like, I already know this. Maybe you fight it in your mind, but anyway, it always turns out to be true. And that's what the glass bedroom is about. Bedrooms are obviously about sexual activity, but in this dream, it's that, but it's also about spiritual activity, because when we sleep, our spirit leaves our body and we go to the astral plane and chat with our friends and all that. Anyway, I'm there for work, and the musician is there to participate in 2 rituals. So the twos. The first involves him jumping off something. So that's a good thing in a dream anyway. It's about taking a leap of faith, jumping off something. The second has something to do with him separating from his child's mother. So my question to you is, are you affected by separation, like your dad leaving your mom and you? Because that's such a specific theme in the dream. And you come back to it in a minute. Anyway, on the first morning we wake up, he prepares for ceremony 1 and I head off to work. A long, grueling day of sewing. Are you sewing clothes? You don't say what you're doing, but are you sewing clothes? So clothes are to do with attitudes. And so this says that that's what you got to work on. Change your attitude towards your channeling ability. After working, I head to the glass bedroom when the priest who performed the day ceremony gives me a soft white and blue pillow. So what are priests? Priests are spiritual leaders, but they're right at the bottom of the totem pole, let's say. So you've got the gift, but it's not pointed out in any strong way in the dream. But it's there nonetheless, okay? So anyway, he gives you a soft white and blue pillow. That's good. That's asking you, because there was a white hat as well. It's asking you to soften up when it comes to spiritual things, particularly the channeling, because that's what we saw first. And the white hat, because you just say the musician had a white hat at the start, that could be about being critical about this. It's a spiritual thing because it's a hat. It goes on the 7th chakra. But when white is on its own, it's not a good color. I thank him and I head to the bed. The pillow provides great relief to my aching neck. The musician crawls into bed, pulling me close as we talk about each other's day. He asks about the pillow we are now sharing. I tell him the priest gave it to me as we drift into a deep sleep. I'm speeding up a bit because I'm looking at the clock. We awaken to the sound and smell of something frying in the kitchen. I take it as a signal it's time to get up. I look for my pants, but before I reach them, he pulls me back down to the bed, holding me tight so I can't get away. And it's okay, I read ahead. This is still a family show. I squirm and we laugh. He gently kisses me and I respond in kind. I suddenly remember the glass walls. Yikes! Pull back and jump out of bed. He sits up, spins me around, clutches me tight and declares he doesn't care who sees us. Then kisses me softly again and sings me a song he's working on. I tell him it's beautiful. So that's about channeling because he's the singer and it's all about you not being afraid of letting other people see that side of your nature. I ask him to reconsider the second ceremony, as he might feel differently about the child's mother when the baby comes. So again, this is why I ask, is this kind of relevant for you? I tell him he deserves the space to try to work things out with her for the baby's benefit, and that would be if you're the baby. His expression turns sad and dejected. Now, here's where it does get to where it needs to be censored, but it's symbolic. So unless you knew what these symbols meant, you would not know. You say, I hand him his favourite kind of cookie. He takes a bite and pulls me down again, this time hugging me so intensely I felt as if we are melting into each other. I can hear him think, this is the girl, as he munches the cookie. I kiss him very softly and get up again to find my pants. So, what do? Now remember, a bun in the oven is all about being pregnant. So you give this guy a cookie, presumably cooked in an oven. So you're giving somebody your cookies and then you go find your pants. So you can work out what that means. But it's good in a dream because it's about being intimate with this aspect of your nature. And that aspect, of course, is the channeling. As I dig through the dresser, our host Gwyneth Paltrow barges in and asks if I can speak with her in private. I say, certainly, I just need to find my pants. Impatient, she requests I meet her in the children's clothing room. So this means the dreamer was likely told before that she needs to work on childhood issues, but doesn't like that information. And she was probably told by her guides because Gwyneth Paltrow is the one that shows up. Going real fast now. I dress and wish the musician a good day as I quickly head down the endless red corridors to find the children's clothing room. I open door after door, none were it. So this means you've tried this before. You've tried to work on it and it hasn't worked. I come upon a breakfast room and decide to ask the server where this room is when former President Jimmy Carter hands me a cup of espresso. Surprised, I thank him and he introduces me to his companion, a gorgeous, chic, smart Indian woman with large eyes and high cheekbones. We all shake hands. I'm going to speed ahead, skip bits. You end up in his white sports car with a sail. So you have a healing ability. You're also a spiritual leader. I know you've tried to work on the childhood stuff and you haven't found the way for it to work. But that's what I do. I help people deal with their childhood traumas, heal their childhood traumas. You definitely need to do that because it's going to unlock all these gifts for you. What else is in the dream? Nothing. We're going to call it a show there. Thank you to everybody for listening. If I did your dream, feel free to contact me and I can tell you a little bit more that I haven't covered from the dream on air. Until next week, I'm Michael Sheridan.